Hello everyone, this is Aaditya Mehta and you are listening to Personality Development Podcast. As kids, many of us might have dreamed about being a dancer or a Bollywood artist or even an entertainer, right? But what does it really take to break into this industry? To guide us with that, we have one such personality on this podcast today. He is one of the leading actors in the Gujarati show United States of Gujarat. And he is an incredibly talented dancer and a choreographer. Please allow me to welcome Darshit Jani. He is going to be here in a while. In the meantime, what you can do is listen to this intro music and do subscribe to this podcast if you haven't already. Here we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Personality Development Podcast. As I've already mentioned, we have one such amazing personality on today's episode. And let me tell you this, he is one of the leading actors in the Gujarati show named United States of Gujarat. So, hey Darshit, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you so much for having me here, and I'm really looking forward for it. And thanks for inviting me. I'm nervous because since it's my first podcast, I've never been to podcast, but yes, I'm excited as well.
Yeah. Let me tell you this thing. This podcast has been the epitome of the people who have debuted their podcast as well.
Oh, lovely.
So you are not the first one who is coming first time on the podcast. There are many people on this podcast who have came to the podcast for the very first time.
Oh, lovely. So I can imagine my life going in a
100%. Yeah, for sure. Although you are here for increasing my views, but yeah, it can be the other way around. Of course. So, Darshit, firstly, what I gave was a very short and crisp introduction of yours, but if you would like to go ahead and give your detailed introduction.
So, hi everyone. My name is Darshit Jani, and I worked in 3 serials, which are called one of the Gujarati serial called The United States of Gujarat, which was mentioned by Aaditya Bhai, a Hindi serial called Mannat, and other Hindi serial called Devachal Ki Prem Katha. Also, I worked in many ads and short films. So yeah, I'm working and striving hard to get more opportunities and get into the field.
I mean, a person who looks like you has to do a lot of struggles. So that means that this industry is very tough to break into. Is it something like that?
Honestly, yes, because you have to, strive hard yards to get into this industry because it's not easy. One, if you have contacts, other, if you have the talent. But moreover, if you have contacts, then it becomes really easy for you to get into it.
Right.
Also, the potential or the mindset which you have that actually helps you to stay in it. Otherwise, half of the people just leave it and they just move forward. So to have this thing in your mindset that, okay, I have to crack this thing and I have to it by hook or crook, I have to get into this field. If you have this strong mindset, you can get into it.
Right.
It takes years, but it's not that complicated or not that tough.
That's pretty amazing. Let me tell you one thing, listeners, that he looks way more cuter without beard as well. I'm looking him in beard today, but and the thing is why I said that, because people like me who look like me can start a podcast and become famous, because obviously they are not going to get a chance in movie or shows, but people who look like him can definitely get that.
No, of course, you can get a chance. You have a good personality, and the name itself has personality development. So your personality is already on that level that you can crack anything.
That's what I have convinced myself into, but let's go ahead and show. So, Darshit, let's just straight dive into the podcast and the topic which we are going to discuss today. Because somewhere for the people, okay, who are just viewers or who are just consuming entertainment for their fun, they have a whole lot of different perspective towards the industry versus those who are already into the industry. Okay. So quickly, if you can give a strong picture to us about how this industry looks like when you are in it.
So I would strongly suggest that those people who are trying to get into this, it's not that tough. If you have this belief in you that you can do it or you can make it, then trust me, there are chances, because people need good actors, people need a person or an identity who looks good, who has this potential. So it's easy. It's not that tough. But those who are into it, to be consistent, that's more difficult and that's more challenging.
Yeah.
Because to be consistent, it's a difficult task. Because once you get work, you get used to more appreciation. You get used to more, people come and people, they appreciate you. They tell you, they give you advice and stuff like that, where you think that, okay, I have a bright future ahead. And after that, once you don't receive work, your morale drops down. And once your morale drops down, it's really difficult to come back stronger. So those who are into it, you have to be consistent. So that's the motto which I tell to myself once I get into this. So
Right. That's wonderfully said. Also, I want to ask one more thing, because you mentioned about getting used to appreciation. Okay.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you this. This might be a little off the topic as well, but since we are spiritual colleagues as well, so I have to ask you this as well. That does it also boost your ego somewhere?
honestly, if I talk about myself, I don't keep appreciation and criticism in my mind, honestly.
Okay.
Why? Because I tell you, the gathering which I go to,
Which
my
we go
guru,
to.
which we go to, in fact,
Yeah.
yeah, correct. So my guru, or our guru rather, always used to tell us that never keep ego in your mind. Now, this is something which is really delicate topic or fragile topic to touch to.
Yeah.
But when people appreciates you, you start thinking that, oh, this is my thing.
Yeah.
I'm the boss.
Yeah.
I can
And there is small tingle in your stomach as well,
Correct.
because it just makes you smile. Right?
Correct, correct. But in your subconscious or in your back of the mind, if you think that whomsoever it's doing, it's been done by God, or it's been done by Almighty. And those things, if you keep in your mind, it becomes really easy to just neglect all those things which is coming your way, whether that is criticism or whether that is appreciation. So what I do, I keep an invisible earpods
Uh-huh.
that keeps me rolling all the time. When people appreciate, I say thank you on his behalf. When people criticize, I say thank you on his behalf. And whatever has been done by him. I was just an instrument. I was being just part of that situation. I did my work. And as Bhagavad Gita says, karmane vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phal hetu burma te sango asto karmane. And I just focus on my work. I just focus on my karma. And I just get more. And I just get along with it.
Wow. I mean, I have been reading Bhagavad Gita a lot, but I cannot still fluently pronounce the shloks, which you did so easily. So congratulations on that, firstly. And secondly, why I asked that question, the reason was, it wasn't off the topic, actually, because the next question is based on that. How important it is to have this mindset in the industry where rejection is your second home.
No, you have to have this friendship with rejection. Because if you have this mindset that nobody can reject me, then you have this thing, you have to build that thing inside you, because sometimes rejection helps you to grow as an individual. That actually helps you to build a stronger version of yourself. So if you try and if you try and if you try, one day it will come that you will reach to a mountain and you will sit back and relax and then think that whatever rejection I've faced in my life, that actually helped me to climb the mountain.
Yeah.
So that rejection, somewhere or the other, it helps you. They are not failures, they are part of the learning process. And then actually it just shifts perception towards your life. That helps you to grow.
Well, that's beautifully said, and somewhere I resonate with it as well, because all the listeners might not know about it, and even you don't know about it, honestly. We used to have this amazing studios back when we were recording for YouTube, and I faced rejection, okay, because of all those things. And today, setting up a studio at my place wouldn't have been possible if I didn't face those rejections, honestly, right?
Correct.
And today, this is sorted for next, I would say, 12 months or so, because now I can record this podcast wherever, whatever time I want. So I completely resonate with what you said. So yeah, that's kind of a live example, guys, just for you people. Normally, I wouldn't share it, but because this topic came up, I did that.
Part and parcel of life, you see.
Part and parcel of life.
Because if you don't get rejected, then there is hardly possibility that you will become successful.
Yeah.
Those people who are successful in today's world, somewhere or the other, they have faced rejection.
True.
So you have to go through it.
Correct. Now, let's dive into more of your journey, which you have done till now. Okay. I believe, firstly, what I want to ask is, when did you thought that you want to become an actor or even a dancer in that perspective? Because I've seen your dance personally, and with me, 10 to 12,000 people have watched that. Okay, live. So I know how great of a dancer you are. But when did it all start?
So honestly, if I tell you, God has been kind throughout, and I thoroughly give credits to God because it's a God grace that I am in a position where I can say that okay, I can handle some people who belongs to industry or who belongs to the upper level in this field. So initially, the idea was not to become a dancer. Honestly,
Okay.
I wanted to become an actor only, but since 2020 Corona thing happened, I thought there is something more to it which I can explore in myself. So I joined one dance institute called Shamak Dawar. Shamak sir actually helped me to boost my confidence, to get used to all those things which I was uncomfortable of doing it initially. Then he boosted my morale, and he told me one thing that Darshit, you have this great potential to become an actor also. You should try doing it while you have this one more talent to become a dancer. You keep on doing it, and at the same time, you have these chances to become a good actor. So I started training in the field of dancing. Then I became a choreographer. I became an instructor in Shamak Dawar Institute. And then later on, I thought that, okay, there is something more to it which I can do it by myself. Then I quit the company and then I started giving auditions for it. So in 2024, I started giving auditions for acting. And again, as I mentioned earlier, that God has been kind. I got more and more opportunities.
Okay.
Like if I tell you that people who are struggling for 5 to 6 years, they haven't got this opportunity where God gave me some opportunity which are actually even I can't imagine. When I look back and think, it's really unimaginable journey for me throughout, because it's something which I can't even think of that, oh, I've reached so far one day. So yeah, that's about it.
That's really nice. Okay. Huge shout out to Shamak ji. I hope someday you will be on my podcast as well.
Of course, I would love to.
Wonderful. Without payment, huh? Chalo, आगे बढ़ते हैं. Okay. So, Darshit, amazing journey. Okay. But tell me about the first audition which you gave.
Yeah.
Were there butterflies in your stomach while you gave your first audition? What was the scene like? Just explain me.
So I was doing this play called Teen Bandar.
Okay.
And my director,
You were one of the banda?
yeah, I was one of the Bandar in it.
Achha.
So my director saw me doing that play, and he was like, Darshit, you have immense potential of doing acting, and can crack, you can crack through this industry. So if you work hard. So I was like, okay. And he saw me doing play before Ondo, and then he came up to me one day and he said, Darshit, there are some auditions going on for Gujarati serials. If you are available and if you willing to do it, just be part of it and just try it.
Right.
If you can crack it, it's up to you. If
It's
you
up to
can't, and then rejection is the second option to become friend of.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, sir, I'll give it a shot. I don't mind giving a shot. I gave it. And nobody, like I haven't seen somebody who cracked his first audition in this acting field. But luckily, again, with God grace, I gave my first audition, and there was so much, inside me going around, thousands of things going around when the cameraman came, and I was facing the camera for the first time, so I became conscious.
Yeah.
But somehow I managed to did it. And when I got the call that Darshit, you got selected for this thing, so I was on cloud 9. I told my mom that, Mom, look, I got selected for the serial. I don't know how, but they're calling me for a look test. And look test is something which they give you costumes, they apply makeup on you, and then they try, and then they see that whether the role which you are looking at, are you you fit in it or not. So luckily, every block fall into place. Everything, the dices were on my side and the ball on was my court. So I managed to somehow I managed to crack that thing in my first audition only. And since then, it's been a roller coaster ride for me.
पहली बार में ही फोड़ दिया भाई ने. Great thing.
लग गया मेरे को तो लग रहा है हो गया.
Wonderful. One thing which I thoroughly enjoyed about it, that तीन बंदर देख के वो रोल बना था and you were one of the बंदर.
Yeah, I was one of the wonders. So I urge every actor to do theater, because theater is something which actually helps you to build your personality in a different way. Also, it helps you to become a good actor. At the end of the day, you realize that theater actually helps you to grow as an actor as well.
Yeah.
So every youngster who is watching this podcast, I would request to join theater first and then you try for media thing.
Yes, that's a very good advice. Although sometimes you have this amazing expressions with your eyebrows. How do you do that? Because most of the times people can't.
Yeah, because while doing theater only, I've learned so many. There are 135 expression in your face, on your face when you are acting.
Can you show us some?
So it would be really difficult for me because you have to say action, and then
I'm ready to say that action.
So there are something which when you are angry, you like, and then you are sad. And you are cutely sad. When you are cutely sad and somebody tells you or director tells you, demands you to become cutely sad, you act like. And then once a director tells you to do any expression, or you suggest me an expression.
Anger. I don't know. That comes very naturally to me.
Next.
Sad. Crying sad. Depressed. Wow, but that's it. I mean,
Maybe
that's pretty
so
amazing.
it actually helps you to grow as an artist, because if you have so many expression in you, you can play any role easily.
Right.
So even it's not that I'm a successful actor yet, of course, but these things helps you to really build that concrete part in acting field.
Right. You know what I just did, right? I actually did an audition of yours so that it can be seen by 400, 500 or maybe more people. So, next time when you get work,
Yeah.
remember to pay me a commission. A very good
Definitely. Love to. If you have work, contact. So my number is.
Wonderful. Great thing, Darshit. It's really a wonderful conversation that's going on. So you started with that, okay. But how did you land a role in United States of Gujarat? I mean, was this the story about United States?
Yes, it's about United
And how about different things like ads and shoots and everything?
So in that particular serial only, one of my director called Swapnil Singh, he saw me doing acting. And again, as work attracts work.
Yeah.
So he came up to me and he said, Darshit, I'm doing an ad. I'm doing a shoot for an Aptol thing. So are you interested in doing in it? So I was like, yeah, sir, I don't mind doing it. So he approached me and he was like, budget kitna loge? I go, oh, directly yahan se. I was thinking that again I have to give audition and again I have to go through the same process which I went to, but no, he said, no, you don't have to give audition because I've seen your work and you are doing quite well. So I would really love to take you to this thing and just be part of it now. Aisa. So he called me and he said, Darshit, will you do it? Like, okay, I'll do it. And since then, again, it's been a roller coaster ride. Why? Because in that particular ad shoot, again, one of the directors saw me doing acting. Like, Darshit, we are doing a serial called Mannat.
Okay.
So there is one negative role. So just challenge yourself and just do it. Because I've seen your work, you're doing it quite well. So I think you can do it. You will manage to do it.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. I don't mind doing a negative role because, the background or the
I feel sometimes, I really feel you have a face for a negative role as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like this cute devil kind of a thing where, person looks like, he's very dangerous, but with ladies, he's like, oh,
Gentle, sweet.
but in the back of the mind, he's like, ab main isko fasaunga.
No, but honestly, I haven't tried doing negative acting before or after that particular phase.
Okay.
And that was the particular phase where I tried doing negative. I challenged myself. Somehow I managed to, I used to tell myself, keep telling myself that, Darshit, this is something which you have never done it. You have never touched it. So it's for you to just come out of your comfort zone and just try your luck. And I don't know what happened. And then the moment director said action, and I don't know what came into me. I did that thing, and the moment director said cut, and he came running towards me. Darshit, what a take! I'm like, wow, what did he? I was in two minds. Oh, was it good or was it not?
Yeah.
I was like, Darshit, it was fab. And again, I looked back and I said, thank you, God. It was just you. I honestly feel that it's not me who is doing it.
Yeah.
Him is the Almighty is doing it, and I'm just an instrument. So since then, again, my this thing journey started.
Wow.
Continuously, it's been going.
Right. That's wonderful. Although now let's get a bit of serious now, because I really want to ask this. How is working into this field, okay, like how this field treats you, honestly? That's what I want to ask, because I mean, I have been in some work in theater, I have done some work in theater, and sometimes the directors are ruthless. Okay, not only the directors, but the other support crew as well.
Correct.
How is it?
So
For you.
honestly, if I tell you, it depends. Now the time has changed. People really approach you in a good way. And I feel your behavior and your character counts the most.
Okay.
Because the way you treat people, they will treat you the same way.
Okay.
So what I feel, to build a strong character first before your potential or your talent is the mandatory thing. So what I do, I try to be, it's not that I try to be now, that's in me.
It's in it.
Manufacturing me. So I feel like I try to be, nice, gentle, sweet talking person.
Yeah.
So even they treat me nicely.
Right.
So I feel it's based on your character. But yes, there are something which is happening on this field, like a casting couch or something like that. But again, it depends. If you want to do that work, you can go and you can do it. But if you don't want to, you can strictly say no.
Right.
Like saying no is not a bad thing. And you just don't have to give any animosity towards anybody. Just that you have to don't jeopardize your life for the sake of one work, I would say.
Right.
So it's completely depend on each and every individual how they take it.
Right. That's wonderfully said. So, audience, you got it, right? I don't have to explain in this, so it's great. However, when you work in this industry, okay, so there are many sort of notions which people have that even you have done it. Okay, so what would you like to say about that?
People have many notions, I would say. They keep on telling you this field is not for good people. This field is not for somebody who belongs to a spiritual background and stuff like that. Many things comes to you. But if you have this willing or if you have this thinking in you that whatever you're doing for your good, and you are doing it for people who loves to see you on television or wants to see you on stage, and you are born to entertain them, then if you have this clear mindset and if you have this clear destination that I just want to entertain them with whatever I can, with best of my potentiality to the best of my abilities, then definitely you can opt or you can choose the right path in right direction, and then the work life becomes really easy.
Wonderful. So that's wonderfully answered. I really love how you are giving answers right now with such a positive outlook towards it. And I really appreciate the positive outlook as well. Of course, there are things which are going bad, that goes bad in each and every industry. There are politicians in each and every industry, I would say. But it's on you, on how you come out of those politics and do the best work, which you already do, right? So, I mean, that's really a positive outlook towards the industry you are working into. Another thing which I have seen Raj Anadkar also works with you in the serial. Again, how is it working with him? Like, have you become friends?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
We are in great touch, and he's like more than a actor colleague to me. He's a good friend of mine, and he's an amazing person on set because that was my first serial. So I'll tell you one incident. I had no clue what are camera angles. On which take you have to take a pause, and how to exit the camera. I had no idea. So Raj was the one who was guiding me, who was telling me, and he was guiding me throughout. Darshit, so this is the stuff, this is called camera, this is your close shot, this is your master shot, this is a wide shot, this is the over the shoulder. I had never been used to that terminology before.
Okay.
So he helped me to go through this, and he actually guided me the way out throughout, and that thing actually helped me. And whatever insight I took from him, that actually helping me right now as an actor
Right.
to build a concrete career in this. So he is an amazing human being, amazing person to be with.
So, Raj, we are giving you a huge shout out. Okay, I hope you remember that. And you are always welcome to come on the podcast, by the way.
We'll meet soon.
Okay. Now, this has been an amazing conversation, and I'm loving this conversation a lot. Any tips you would like to give? I mean, to the people who are really trying hard, they haven't been getting enough rules for themselves. Okay, and they have really somewhere lost their hope. Any advice which you would like to give to them?
See, honestly, if I feel I'm no one to give any advice, but as a friend, I would love to share these things because, if we belong to such industry, or if you are, struggling hard or striving hard to get into it, there is always a ray of hope. Trust me, if you are on it, someday or the other, you will crack it. And I strongly believe in it. In whatever field you belong to, whether that's corporate, whether it's business, whether it belongs to artistic field, any field you belong to, if you keep trying harder, trust me, there will come a day or there will come a time you will crack it. And one break would be enough for you to change your life. So I strongly believe, success has no definition. Success has no age limit to it. You can be successful at any age. There is no particular time slot to it, or there is no particular duration to it.
Right.
So it's just that you have to be consistent. You have to be on it if you have started doing it, and just keep reminding yourself that why you have started. That's what I do usually.
Yeah.
That whenever I face any failure, or I would not say failure, but whenever I go through that learning curve of my life, crest followed by a trough, I always keep telling myself, Darshit, just remember why you have started. And just you have to be on it, be on that track, be on it, and just one day or the other, it will strike you back.
Right.
Whatever karmas you did, somewhere or the other, it will reflect.
Correct.
Irrespective of, you have to be on it, but someday or the other, it will come back to you strongly.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so much. And I believe this has been some great insights. And we are almost on the verge of ending this episode. But before we do, it's time for me to take a community question.
Okay.
Okay. So for the viewers, I would like to say that we do have a community on a WhatsApp. Okay. So I post your photo over there. That's the reason I was asking for it. Yes. And I post about the experts who come on the show, and I ask them if they have any question for you, of course, and I'll be the one to ask that question on behalf of them. So there is this girl, Ayushi Patel, who has asked this question. She might be really excited after watching you do that high. Yeah. So what she asks is, how you remain so cute on the camera?
Oh, that's really tough for me to answer. But what comes out instinctively, I do it.
But you see, you have some amazing female fans, huh?
Oh, really?
I mean, that was one of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Thank you. I would really appreciate it. Keep following me.
No, but the question was how you remain so cute and how do you have a very sweet smile. That's added by me, by the way.
Actually, I feel even this question was made by you, but you are putting name on it. No, really?
It is really asked by a female fan of
Thank you
yours.
so much for asking such this wonderful question. But honestly, if I tell you, I don't have any specific answer or profound answer to it, because I feel that's in me, it will come out somehow or the other. But I think that's come out naturally. It comes out naturally all the time. So
Yeah. Ideally, I think, Ayushi, that was just a compliment. It wasn't a question, but still I asked it on your behalf. So make sure to share it on a story as well and tag us, right? Do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, you would now love
Sorry, I
to
have this mindset. Whenever I see camera now, I do stuff like that where I just be myself.
Of course, you should be. You should be. You don't have to be sorry about it. And I do understand.
Because you have such kind of fan following who are so sophisticated and you are well behaved people
Yeah.
who are watching this podcast and they must be thinking, oh, who is he? What is he doing?
No, don't worry about it. Everyone understands that now you have the curiosity of looking at her profile, and that's the reason you're
Yeah.
Of course. So this will be the last question, I promise.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
And the question is, if people really wants to get connected with you, if people wants to really, ask some more questions to you, genuinely, if someone wants to follow you, Ayushi, I'm talking to you. Okay. So, where can they find you on the internet?
So I have my Insta ID. It's called Darshit Jani _28. And if you want to get connected with me for a work thing, you can just type an email on the name Darshit Jani 28@gmail.com. That's my email ID. So those are the platform where I am in right now, currently active on it. Otherwise, I don't use social media much often.
Right. Of course. Although 28 came out very thoughtfully.
No, because I have so many accounts, so I get confused all the time. I have 4 to 5 Gmail accounts. So I always get confused which one I use for work, which one I use for that, and I don't have manager like you who can always guide me or tell me. I'm telling you guys, he has a really great team, amazing team
Yeah. That I
behind the camera. So
I have. Honestly, I have. With that being said, Asha, make sure people to let him know that you have heard him on Personality Development Podcast to get a priority reply. Okay. So, and then only he is going to reply. So, other than that, he's not going to. Again. Try to. With that being said, this is Aaditya Mehta along with Darshit Jani signing off from this episode. See you in the next one. Till then, peace out.